Okay, I'm a doctor, so I'm really concerned about certain subjects. We're just talking about health and what you need to worry about, according to me. And it's just very different. I was just talking to a friend of mine yesterday. Depends on your age. It's very different. If you are 20, you're probably dealing with different feelings, and it's just right, I think, rather than older people. People that are just about, for example, 7-year-old. They are just worried about, for example, cardiovascular disease, diabetic stuff, correlated stuff with so yeah, thank you so much, sir. That's dangerous, man. Sorry, guys. So the mindset there is quite different, to say the least, and it's right. It's just, it needs to be different. And for example, today we keep hearing somebody talking about, a lot of people actually talking about intermittent fasting, prolonged fasting, and all the kind of stuff. There were more, I would say, renowned and famous all over the internet community, I think, and they just, sorry for the wind, reached their maximum level of notoriety. I think 3 years ago, maybe. Nowadays, not so much, and I keep hearing people talking about not having to follow prolonged fasting. Here I am a little bit. I have this kind of debate inside myself, because it's just not that easy to discuss that subject. If you are 20, no way. You can do that, for example, at maximum 72 hours, yeah. Water fasting only. It's needed. You think it's a necessity? Necessary? I don't think so. Well, stuck at the red light. Last forever, maybe. Okay, there you go. So that's pretty different if you consider older people that just would like to prevent as much as possible having and developing a cancer. So just that, for that kind of prevention, the thing, you can see that aspect, and all the problem shifts, because you are aware that you probably, look at let me just put it that way. Sick people that have cancer, above all in later stages, are very thin, and they lose weight, and they're not hungry, and people keep just saying that, keep just telling them, have something to eat, or you just lose too much weight. But the reality of things, that people that are sick usually tend not to eat. That's our nature. That's, you can see that in cats too. So it's pretty common. Another light. Pain in the ass. But it's pretty normal. I mean, you're sick, and of course, patients with cancer developed not early stage but later stages cancer are just losing too much weight. And I'm referring to that because these people just suggest me that you could go that way before it happens. That's prevention. You're dealing with what? Too much sugar? Yes, of course. I mean, today I'm thinking that with all those big names speaking about ketogenic diet and all kind of stuff that are correlated, just don't follow what this kind of science has today to tell us, because that is shifting. And I keep listening to Professor Thomas Seyfried, or Professor Peter Attia. People like them are just on another level, and you can see Peter Attia, for example, is far beyond any. I mean, I would rather say it's so much ahead of me and probably of you as well. That's it's about, I think, 4 years ago, and he understood the importance of monitoring with glucose continuous monitor the level of your sugar level in your bloodstream, and that is, I mean, probably aspect number one. So ketones are pretty much something that carries beyond that. I would say, brother, comes later on as something correlated, as a consequence. You have not so much blood sugar in your bloodstream, so your body fundamentally has to find another source of energy. I see that as a normal stuff, and it's normal even when you're thinking about sports and performance. Basically, you have to find more energy, and an adapted body can produce these ketone bodies that just works fundamentally fine, especially in endurance sports. So not so much as in power sport, when you need to go out in big bursts of energy. But that's another topic, another discussion. We're dealing with issues that are complicated. So I hear some colleagues of mine that are younger, that just keep going. I don't need, and Peter Attia as well, I don't need to fast so much no more. And I can agree. Practically, I haven't fasted myself in a long time, but is it good? Is it bad? Okay, there's the problem of losing mass. You gotta say, I'm pretty honest here, there was a pretty big debate on that subject, and I think it basically depends on your body. If you have big muscles, you're probably gonna lose you're gonna probably lose a bit of it. And normal people, I mean, what's normal, I don't know, but average people shouldn't consider that being as a big problem. But anyway, you're gonna lose water at first, so it's very important to keep oneself hydrated, well hydrated. And on the other hand, you're gonna lose probably in 72 hours, you probably lose 1 kilogram. And it's not 1 kilogram of all about mass, muscle mass, or on the other side, it's not all on fat mass. You know, you're gonna lose probably 60% fat and probably 40% of muscle. So probably it's not just something you shouldn't regard as a thing. It's not a problem, because you're gonna rebuild it very, very fast. I mean, a couple of days of protein and you got it back. And the fat, it depends on what you're gonna eat. So you see the problem. For most people with big muscle, could be a little bit more problematic, but usually they're gonna rebuild the muscle mass even faster, even quicker. So you see, and benefits are immense. I mean, you force your body, and there's this aspect, and you see that your body is basically screaming at you, give me food, and you forget about it, and you shifted in another mental state in a couple of days, when you are realizing you can easily survive even without food, and you're doing pretty much fine until when you're basically bottom out. And for me, the border is there, because I'm feeling after when I reach the 72 hours mark, I get this I have less energy, I'm less energetic, and basically, oh god, road works, and basically I experienced this cold feeling. I never cold, and so once I get there, I get a little bit of being cold feeling. I cannot from thermogenesis point, I'm losing points. So there's this kind of discomfort. Is it bad? Is it good? I don't know, but it's probably there when the body struggle that have to do its best to recover. So that's my perspective, and that's a big point, because everybody is saying something different, but most of people can go up to 72 hours pretty easy baby, and very, very easy. I done that in the past with hundreds of friends together, creating this sort of community on the internet, on Facebook. That was, I think, last time was 2020. I mean, but it was excellent, and most people got there again easy. Some of them just got to the 48-hour mark, somebody a little bit less, somebody wanted, against my advice, go further, and that's it. So but the perspective depends on what you're really would like to realize, and what is the main aspect that you are observing, because you just have to be conscious about that. Okay, come on, shift it. So here we go, because we are just you see my point, and I hope you I could give you an idea, because when I was, let's just say, to be quite bluntly honest, 18 years older, yeah, one should never consider this kind of program. They're just you're just younger, so much health at your disposal. Well, later on, you got probably inflammation, arthritis, and problems essentially correlated to your, sorry, it's really windy today, so I'm really sorry about that. I hope the audio quality will be fine all the way. And okay, let's close the visor. Probably it's a little bit better. Okay, you're younger, you have no inflammation, no problems, you're totally fine. Why would you fast? Why? I mean, go out, enjoy your life, study, enjoy, play, and that's it. But later on, you'll see problems coming, health issues. So, how to deal with that? Okay, there are therapies, and that's an aspect, and I'm gonna talk about that later on. But the main aspect here could go, would I fast or would I do something else? Because fast is easy, and it's basically as cheap as you want, because you're not consuming stuff and foods, and you basically drink water and probably salt and maximum something, magnesium, potassium. There's no need of anything else, so it's wonderful, you know what? And it's hard. Yeah, okay, I'm considering you're not having big issue. Big disclaimer here, ask the advice of a specialist. Don't do that yourself, especially if you never done it before, because it can get risky, especially when you are gonna feed yourself up again, because and I really mean feed up, because you're gonna feel this hunger inside of you when you are touching again food for the first time. And it is very, very important there, especially there, to have something give you good advices, and I mean technical medical advice. So big disclaimer here. Apart from that stuff, it's amazing. You can see that on your skin, nails, hair, and your mood will improve and your focus will improve. So it's no big deal about that. Your intestine, your bowels would show some beneficial elements. Somebody, I mean, basically feels something, have a sort of diarrhea, no pain at all, but it's a way that the body try to detoxify itself by whatever toxin you might have inside of you. So, and this is just what I think. I totally respect people that are younger, and I'm not just talking about bodybuilders and stuff like that, but sportsmen, and especially that wants to compete, that need muscle. Okay, why would they want to fast, especially prolonged fast? There's nothing wrong by doing, I mean, 24-hour fast once in a while. That's for everybody, and that's all because you can let your body rest, and even in your stomach, your liver, thank you, you can, or your body is in rest mode, in recover mode, and feels better, and when you eat again, feels like a big satisfaction. Very, very not difficult in any way. It's just beneficial, full stop. I don't know what's that, but when I'm talking to you, I only just want to have a nice feeling with my Nikon, but that's another stuff. So there's a little bit of traffic, and I got distracted. Sorry about it, but in a way, and okay, the therapies, because I know I'm a doctor, so I can and I won't show being against the conventional therapies. Therapies are good when they are needed, and when they are needed, that is a big issue. And when do you need to buy and intake a specific medicament? I mean, a medicine. And I'm not gonna dwell on this topic too much, but I want to just show there's that's not prevention. We're just talking about prevention, and what it is, probably a prevention that makes you feel better. So it's just on a therapeutic level already. And I started this aspect because when today we're talking about ketogenic, and I see the ketogenic as a potential therapeutic method. It's just, of course, it's not a medicine. It's not supposed to be like that, and I don't want to use supplement. Totally against them, but the mainstream, I think suggests this diet, this dietary regime, as as something that allows you to eat as much as you want, fats, all sort of fats, just without eating any sort of sugar, carbs, whatever. So there's a big confusion on this topic, and the effects on your sugar levels are so different, and that's another part of the story. So it's very, very different there. But yeah, I'm just trying to keep my focus, and it is so different because I would like to talk about so many things at the same time, and I'm doing that wrong. I know that. Sorry, but it's not for me. You think about children with form of epilepsy that are not that cannot be controlled with the conventional therapies, so they need to go and they need to obey and comply to this sort of dietary regime. So by you can see on the internet their diet, it's not the diet that everybody on the internet suggests you. It's basically very, very restrained, and you're not just eating a ton of food. So again, it's just not a diet when you are eating lots of fats, butter and olive oil and all sort of fats, coconut oil, tons of it. It's basically something that puts you on, I wouldn't say even a restricted calorie diet, because there are fats there involved and proteins, and so the calories are definitely there, but the amount of food, it's basically not a lot. On the other hand, it's quite a small amount of food, and you pretty much could consume it in one single meal. Easy. Of course, I'm talking about children, but let's go on with adults. No big difference. A little bit of food more, essentially, but the basic is there. That's the ketogenic diet. Other than that, people that are just doing specific kind of sports activities, they can add protein, and we have good example of that. But you want to bulk up, yeah, it's totally another story. Yeah, that's a different kind of ketogenic diet. Yeah, and people just keep asking me, can I put mass on with ketogenic diet? Yeah, of course you can. You can put a ton of fat either. You know, I got fat. I got fat at a certain level for my taste, because I wanted to try and on my body, and I want to see what it would do, and okay, I got an opportunity there to see what happened. And now I know it's just, for me, it's wrong. It's just, and again, it depends on what's important to you. Why are you doing, and why are you following this regime? You want to lose weight, lose fat, get better, less inflammation, and they're very, as it was intended, there's a big correlation between, oh god, the big problem there, it's the red light. It wasn't red, and now we're paying the consequences of it. Oh mother. Okay, let's be patient here. Oh god, sorry. Okay, and here we gotta be careful in this turn, because there is an intersection. Okay, so back to our issue. So it depends on what's your goal. You want to put mass? Probably not the best diet, but of course you can do. Tons of protein, tons of fats, makes you bigger. No big deal about it. But you're gonna look at your blood tests. I don't know, but probably after a while your blood sugar levels would be not so good anymore. You know, I started with level of 70 and I ended up with level of 90 without any food, so with an empty stomach. So basically all day long, of course, I wouldn't eat, and I didn't eat any sort of carbs, basically 30 grams max a day. So again, carbs and sugar, for me, they're totally different. Everybody keeps saying carbs, sugar, but sugars are able to spike my sugar levels quite a lot more, rather than carbohydrates. Just are better if you are concerned having full muscles, are way better to gain a little bit of fullness without having big spikes of sugar level in your bloodstream, and of course you probably are keeping under control your insulin, because basically, of course, they are correlated. So your glycemic index is important, but and that again is something that is very fascinating with me, because Peter Attia got there way before. I think again 3-4 years ago. That's incredible. All I can say, incredible. And so, and it's not that crazy expensive, and you could do that once in a while. It lasts. My sensor lasts for 14 days. So, and during this period, and you can repeat it, it's just about $50 nowadays here in Italy. You can monitor your bloodstream, your glucose, basically your sugar, the amount of sugar you got in every single moment during the day in your bloodstream. The level of the sugars are totally under control, and so you can learn what to eat and what's the reaction of your body to that specific food in that specific moment. And you can learn how important is the order in which every single food is taken, because for example, long story short, you eat fat and protein first, and then probably a decent amount of carbs are just pretty much or scarcely influent upon your sugar level in your bloodstream. And it's incredible. I got meals where I eat a little bit of carbs, not so less actually, a good amount. So let's just say close to 100 gram. 100 gram, it's considered being a limit in even for endurance sportsmen in ketogenic diet, but for most people on the internet community, they teach, between inverted comma, staying under the 50 grams a day mark of carbs. But again, carbs and sugar are basically so much different. And with the continuous glucose monitor, you can monitor your glucose in your bloodstream, and you're gonna learn what's best for you as a food and what's the best timing. It's better to eat and not after 20 p.m. for example, or for your body it really doesn't matter, it's not a big deal. There are so many aspects, and this is so much this is so of the essence for your health. I mean, $50, and you keep it nice and safe on your shoulder. You almost tend to forget it. That's the level of comfort, and it's just not painful whatsoever. It's just a minute thing that at the very first you feel like something that is touching you, and then you don't feel it no more. That's my experience, and I'm pretty sensitive, I can admit it. So I'm not that tough guy. I just doesn't feel pain at all. I kind of wish that, but I'm not. So we're just dealing with a lot, and probably too many things for today. But I would just say having some sort of conclusion, because it's very, very relevant to me as well. Oh my God, it is your kind of driving style, because it's so crazy. Why should anyone? Okay, let's just leave it at that. No comment. Annoying. No respect for others. I mean, I'm far within the limit. The speed limit is 50. Okay, here we are in a village, so a little bit less, but okay. So, conclusion. I would like to hear more about this stuff, because it's not about what you eat and who can do that, who cannot, because he has this problem, thyroid and stuff like that. Of course, thyroid is a big issue, but again, during the Nazi periods, I saw, unfortunately, a lot of people starving, and there were thin paper thin, like poor people, and okay, they lost ton of weight, and you think nobody between these people, among these people, had or probably could have thyroid problems, issues? That's just not likely, and they all lost weight. Sorry about my English, got a little bit distracted there. And that's a number one observation I can make. So everybody was there, unfortunately, losing a ton of weight. So you keep fasting, you lose weight, no big deal. Issue with your health, of course, and I wouldn't recommend. First, number one, you don't do that without any medical advice. So go to your specialist and go for it. And what's the big aspect there? How prolonged the fast should be and could be. And what's your goal? You're a sportsman and you only want to go for a better skin, a little bit of flat belly and something like that. 24 to 48, it's probably your best your best spot. And if you are someone probably a little bit older that is worried about something like developing a cancer, because all of us already have some sort of cancer in our body. The problem is that usually the body can repair the mistake. We're just dealing with DNA stuff, and it can stop the problem. But unfortunately, later on, this process that contain the development of cancers just works no more, and the problem can develop, and so you get a bigger cancer, and from a bunch of cells it gets pretty impressive, and then you are sick because you realize you have this lump in whichever part it strikes, and then again you you're sick and you should go under surgery, under treatment. So for the people that are concerned with this problem, and they know what could potentially probably protect you a little bit more against this problem, what is it? And I think we all know about that. It is something called fasting. How prolonged? And would you have a cancer? Would you rather undergo a prolonged fasting, or would you risk eating as much as you can? Because there are there are two things at the very opposite of the equation. You know what I mean? One side, you don't eat at all for a period, and on the other side, you keep eating as much as you want any time of the day, and that's the other side of the equation. What would you do? Because you're basically feeding the cancer up, and on the other side, you're keeping your body under stress, probably waking up a little bit more the immune system, making the cells work better, and your mitochondria would be forced to produce a different sort of energy, shifting a little bit your metabolic roads, and I call them roads because we have tons of ways to find energy. And once I followed a scientist that just basically showed me a chart, and there were it was like the New York City underground map, you know. It was so very, very fascinating. So, and probably you go for you go for the optimal road that produces energy. You keep your system working to go there, and discard a little bit, discarding the more performing, the less performing roads. I mean, the patterns are there. I'm no expert there at all, but they're shown in the literature. So, and it's not about gluconeogenesis and all kind of stuff. It's just very, very. It's just more complicated than that. Way far beyond that. And we know that for sure, not at all, but literature is there, and probably you can go and see and have a look at the results of Professor Walter Longo, that is a founder of a company. I wouldn't name it. That's not a necessity, no needed at all. But it promoted the fasting, or the mimicking fasting diet. That's very, very important, and it promoted as well basically some low protein diet and low calorie diet, very, very small amount of calorie intake. For who? Not for guys, not for for teenagers, but for older people. And the community was shown having people close to 100 years old, and they really looked kind of amazing. But they only eat, basically it's a ketogenic diet, so very, very small amounts of proteins, good fats, and probably a little bit of some vegetables, and probably, I don't know, probably some low glycemic fruit. Well, I don't think you can achieve that by eating a ton of pasta and, unfortunately, Nutella. That's my problem. My problem number one, Nutella. Sorry, guys. I name it, but that's definitely a problem of mine and of a lot of kids, for what I can see. Okay, sorry guys, I was just a little bit distracted again, but I hope you got what I mean. Everybody in his age has obviously a different point of view and a different target, but the target area is health. You're in good health. You shouldn't be on a diet. Okay, you're fit. Your health is excellent. Don't mind it. Just simple like that. Go for some basic simple rules and respect. I mean, be careful about what you eat, of course. The food quality is of the essence here. Sorry, a little bit. My tongue got a little bit tangled up. You know what I mean? And that's one aspect. But on the other hand, when you are worried and you want to do something about prevention, because we all know how it's going to end up. Cardiovascular disease, number one cause, in Europe at least, of death in the world. Cardiac arrest is number 3, and it's scary as hell, but it does in a way it's just widely correlated with a heart infarction, so other than with other cardiovascular diseases, but definitely there are tons of variety and causes that are at its origin. But number one, so cardiovascular. And I don't want to go into the diabetic stuff there, because I just really don't need. Think about the problems that go together with being diabetic. There's heart, kidney, and eyes, and brains. So I don't want to comment on that. Just go with your intelligence and imagination. There's no need for me to go there now. So, problems number 1, if you want to go cardiac disease and basically metabolic disease like diabetic. And number 2, we all know what it is, don't we? It's cancer. Cancer, it's just growing up in number each and every year, so draw your own conclusions about therapies and what's just something that can make it worse from year to year. I don't want to dwell onto that at all. But, and there's a big but, there therapies, or just not even therapies, because there are basically vitamins, in let's just keep inside the prevention, within the prevention borders. There are vitamins, and there's a professor, I cannot even name it here in Italy because everyone it got a serious bad rap, and now there is a son that is carrying with a great courage and involvement, professional involvement, carrying on with his with his job, the job that his great father had started. Okay, it's just a bunch of retinoids in a high concentration and with a different specific setting, and this has been shown, and there's plenty of literature on this topic. What's important, it has been shown being pretty much effective in preventing and also curing certain types of disease. So there's a ton of people here. Yeah, I kind of like that, and I want to, because I'm just doing downhill and just travel across the city. Probably no big deal. These cars are just a pain in the ass. You know what we need to be careful because there are too many people here today. I'll probably go for it. Sorry, but this truck is worrisome, to say, in the very least, worrisome. Okay, and so I was just talking about this therapist. Are you fucking nuts, baby? Why would you drive like this? It's so boring and disturbing. It is incredible. People are just driving like nobody's on the street. I don't want to go crazy fast. I'm doing 50, perfectly within the limit. So, okay, enough with complaining. I'm just blabbering about too much. So there's this. It's not even a therapy. It's just a bunch of vitamins, retinoids, and with vitamin C, vitamin D, and a high concentration, and vitamin A, sort of normal stuff, but created in a laboratory by somebody that can do that. Usually here in Italy is the farmacista. So basically a pharmacy, a professional inside a pharmacy that's also a doctor, or very often, almost certainly is a doctor, and is probably a chemist too, and can create these products, and they are considered being sort of drugs, like with therapeutical cannabinoids, just like that. It's sort of crazy for me. I don't know, but it blows my mind off like crazy, man. It's just a bunch of vitamins in a good way, produced by professionals, so no need to worry about it. And it is considered being a drug, and it has been shown to be effective, of course, inside the limits of prevention, and literature, according to literature, very powerful also inside the I mean, sorry, but it is quite challenging here. So the traffic is a bitch. So I need to be careful. And it is good as a therapy as well. Of course, that's not. I wouldn't recommend it as a single therapy. That would be pretty much unwise, to say the very least. But as a complementary therapy. And I just keep saying that therapy because you need a prescription for a specific drug. It is considered to be a drug again. So it's a therapy, and you need to have a prescription. Some doctors and probably your doctor wouldn't prescribe it to you because probably it would be scared, and I would be. And there are specific rules that probably are able to scare in Italy every doctor from prescribing it. From prescribing this kind of therapy. Again, another famous therapy that's just misunderstood is melatonin. Melatonin connected to adenosine. It's just not the common version. And here as well, literature has shown us very clearly melatonin is very powerful, and everybody knows it for as a product that facilitates you when you're going to sleep during the night, and that can make you sleep better. But that's just not what it should be famous for. Melatonin connected to adenosine has been proved inside the cell within the healthy cell. It can provide more energy, so a better functioning system within the cell. On the other hand, outside of the cell, it regulates, upregulated and downregulated certain type of receptor, and it is very, very good for, it seems, let's just say, for your body, letting in functioning, optimizing the functioning of your body, and let's just leave it at that. For that aspect only. But what's just very, very nice and important, and should be, it is that inside malignant cell, it tries to shut it down, and it makes this cell express stuff, receptors on its membrane that facilitate its destruction, and that is amazing. You know what? Sorry. Here we go a little bit hard because it's in the wilderness, but we have to consider that. Sorry for the digression. Okay, so that's a big deal. In big amounts, and I mean prevention, we're talking about, according literature, I wouldn't want to say in milligram, but top here in Italy, from what you can find on the internet as well, is 2 milligrams top. For a single tablet, and you would need quite a bit more. And average product available is just not, it's just not the right type of melatonin. The right type is melatonin in conjunction with adenosine, and I can't stress it enough. The power is there because there is this connection with adenosine, and there is a study that has been performed quite a long time ago. Now it wouldn't be allowed. It would be unlawful and almost criminal. You know what I mean? But there was this patient with a big malignant tumor, and it was injected directly in his bloodstream with a sort of melatonin, so directly in the bloodstream, in very, very high amounts, in a higher concentration. I don't remember, but it was crazy. And basically, okay, I know what you mean, but guess what happened to the tumor? So, and you know, when you are when you have been diagnosed with this kind of problem, you're basically already condemned. So when you got from stage 3-4 to stage 1, and then the problem is no longer recognizable with a TC scan, I mean, it's a big deal. I don't know about you, but and I want to be very, very clear. I don't want to say, and I want to seem too much of too naive here. I don't know. I of course I know there are far too many types, cellular types of cancer. So cancer is only a word. There are a ton of variations of it. But of course, my point of view is, why not use every sort of weapon available? So of course, I say that very, very clearly. I'm not discounting the conventional therapy at all. I'm only saying there are some things that together with it, in conjunction, could make the difference. Could, I'm not sure, but certainly could. And it seems that this aspect has been shown. So I think it would be crazy not having a chat about it, not having a go about it, actually. So why are you not even consider this being important? Why? Just tell me. I don't know. Why are you not even in the very least interested? That's all. So enough for blabber me from my side for today, and I hope I give you an idea of my way of thinking. So try to be smart, focus on your needs, don't follow, even among big names. I mean, these aspects are a little bit they have been put aside. There's a ton of information about products because everybody seems to be in a position where they need to make money, and so products. Why would you use products except for these specific elements? But why would you buy, for example, I don't know, some kind of extract or amino acid when you can eat meat, fish, I mean eggs, I mean cheese, and so on? Why? You can add some vitamin and vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin C, but of course you can have lemon full of vitamin C and all that kind of stuff. So don't go for too many products. You could go with resveratrol. That's just as Professor Sinclair clearly suggests, that could be very, very promising and powerful for longevity. And that's another topic that is important. But then again, not so many products. There's just a bunch of them. There's just a bunch of them that should be taken into consideration. Not much else. You know what I mean? Very, very a very selected group of products could serve you good. Okay guys, that's it for today. I hope I was able to give you an idea or what's my perspective. I don't, and I should in any way pretend I have the solution. It's just a matter of reflecting and dealing, thinking thoroughly upon this kind of matters at hand. So there's nothing like magic. There's no magic diet. There's nothing that works for everybody on this planet, and everyone should find his own solution. Number one, study carefully your glucose, so the sugar the level of your sugar inside your bloodstream, and learn from it what's best for you. And okay, now it's really enough. And so please like if you wish. For me, it could be quite important to share even more this stuff, and consider subscribing to my channel, and I hope you see you on my next video. Bye bye. Ciao.